Joined this afternoon. We're going to have some Daingerfield Tigers join us. They're headed to the state 7-on-7 tournament. Right now, though, we got Coach Betts with us. Right? What's up, Coach?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I will say, unfortunately, two of our students that we did pick our players, they've got other engagements right now. So I told them that I would stand in their place and try to make this as fun and as lively as I can.
All right, Coach. Well, that's no problem. Well, we were going to talk to Chase Johnson, so let's talk about Chase. He's the quarterback. He kind of stirs
Yes,
the
yes,
pot
he
on
is.
offense. So,
Yes, he is.
talk a little bit. I know the coaches aren't allowed to be involved as much in 7-on-7 due to the rules and all that. But what have you
Yes, sir.
seen from Chase on the field during 7-on-7 that makes you excited for this upcoming season?
Well, what makes me excited is we have a new offensive coordinator that is coming in, and Chase and him started their relationship early by exchanging texts and phone calls, and just his overall command. Seeing Chase come from a sophomore, and each year he's gradually gotten better. You can kind of see his command a lot more from being more vocal, understanding of the offense, and then understanding of his players too. So just kind of watching him because he's got a late birthday, so he technically could have another year even after this to play football. So he's on the young end, but just seeing him take command of the team, he's going to be a big player for us, throwing the ball and running the ball. So I'm very excited for Chase this year.
And obviously, you got to replace Bubba Hampton, that is now
Yes,
that is now playing it collegiately. So,
yes,
talk a little bit about some of the other skill players that are stepping up to kind of replace that output that Bubba brought.
yes, sir. And Bubba's senior year, he commanded so much respect, which allowed different players like Kenny to step up. And now I feel like Kenny will get that respect, and we'll have a ton of other players like CT. Be a sophomore this year. Rain Wallace will be a sophomore this year. We had a kid that set out last year named Tyler Brown, about 6'2", 6'3", looks every bit of a football player that is going to step up for us. And then we have Mason Williams, who got his first offer from the University of Miami, and he's just going to be a junior for us. So skill kid wise, I know this sounds what people may not believe me. I think we'll be a lot better on offense than we were last year, even with losing a kid like Bubba Hampton.
And speaking of last year, had a lot of success last year, especially
Yes.
offensively in the
Yes.
season. So when you're saying going to be even better than that, if I'm other teams that got to play Dangerfield, I'd be kind of worried about that.
Yes, sir. And Dangerfield is Dangerfield. I know people say that, but our kids put the work in. Coach Nelson does a very good job. I don't actually coach. I'm actually the principal at the high school, but you will catch me out there on Fridays. Every Friday night, Coach Nelson allows me to have that relationship with the students and still get my coaching feel. And like I said, I've sat out there every Friday on the sidelines and done different things. So still been able to have that up close personal view of those students. And I'm telling you, I'm very confident and I'm very excited for the possibilities for us next year.
Well, and so let's talk about the defensive side because you still got to
Yes,
stop
sir.
some people too. So you can
Yes.
put up all the points in the world, but you got to make a stop eventually. So what have what
Yes,
have you
sir.
seen in these games defensively for Dangerfield that excites you going into this state tournament just next week?
Yes, sir. On the back end, our corners and safeties, I think, like I said, we're still going to be very loaded. Um, with a Trent Boyd, some of the different players returning. Kenny's going to be a two-way player for us. I see Mason taking more things on the defensive end. It'll be hard to replace certain kids like I went blank. Sorry, like Quinn Webb and Marlon Hayes. Thank you so much. And different players like that. But I'm still excited to see some of these young kids step up. Um, a kid like our Wallace kid that plays center for us too. He's going to be even bigger on defense for us this year, and it's going to be fun. I think we're going to have a lot of players that are going to fly around, and defense is still going to be scary too. We'll have our bumps early because of our players being so young and new to it, but around when it comes goal ball season, if Lord willing and injuries don't catch us, it's going to be fun.
Well, that it is going to be fun. It's always exciting to watch Dangerfield, just in an
Yes, sir.
exciting brand of football.
Yes.
One last thing, I know a lot of people look at 7-on-7 as I don't know, it's not real football, because you don't have
Yes.
pads on, you don't have the line involved and all that. But to me personally, I think this is where you see the real talent that your team has. So how exciting has it been for these kids to know that they're headed to a state tournament next week where they have an opportunity to bring home a state championship back home to Dangerfield, which I know Dangerfield is no secret to.
That's if you put them on a football field, they're going to perform. For me, with 7-on-7, it's different. Again, you don't have pads on, but it's still throwing and catching, and those things do correlate. And timing and routes and things like that, relationship between quarterback and receiver, getting your running backs out there defensively, having to track people's hips and different things like that. Actually, Kenny's going to come on and join me too. This is Kenny Mosley.
What's up, Kenny?
And 7-on-7, like I said, it's a lot of fun and it's great, and you see more and more people getting into it. If you go to a 7-on-7 tournament, the crowd is going to be there. So 7-on-7 is taking off, and I'm excited to see where it'll be in the next 5 to 10 years. It's taking off, I'll tell you that.
Well, Kenny, welcome to the conversation. We're glad for you to join us today. Let's talk a little bit about this 7-on-7 season that y'all have had so far. Qualified for the state tournament, headed to College Station next week. How fun has this 7-on-7 season been for you and the boys out there?
It's been great. Like my senior year, like it's just been amazing. Me and like all the other seniors and the juniors, we've been like putting in work in the weight room. We gonna win it this year though. Like we gonna win the state.
That's the attitude I like to hear right there. And I wanted to ask. I'm glad you came in here because I wanted to ask a player's perspective. Now I know y'all got a playbook, and I know that y'all run plays throughout the year, but it's just me and you talking. Ain't nobody else listening. Don't listen. Look at Mr. Betts right there. It's just me and you talking. Do you and Chase and the other kids out there, do y'all just draw up different random plays like you're playing backyard football when it comes to 7-on-7, or do you try to run the playbook?
It just depends on the matchup. Like if Chase sees somebody that like, he know can't stick me, he gonna like send me on the post or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so you kind of a little bit of backyard football with still some strategy involved in it as well. Well, what about defensively? Like I was talking to Mr. Betts, you can score all day, but you got to stop somebody. So defensively, what are y'all looking like this year?
We looking our way. Like the Daingerfield defense always gonna be there. It don't matter. Like it don't matter what we playing, 7-on-7 pass. It don't matter. We there. We got some young guys on. We got some young guys on the defense. So
and what are you looking forward to most next week about going down in College Station and competing against all the other schools from the state?
Most definitely having fun and like winning for real. I just want to win.
That's the best mentality to have right there. Well, Kenny, I appreciate you joining us today, and Mr. Betts, I appreciate you joining us as well.
Oh, no problem. It's always a pleasure trying to represent our kids.
Absolutely. Well, thank y'all so much, Kenny. Best of luck next week in state, and let's bring home a title, huh?
Yes, sir. You know it.
All right. Thank y'all so much.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you.